Guys, what's going on? Number one, hope you guys are having a blessed day. Welcome back to the Corporate Athlete Podcast. I'm Kobe.
I'm Luke.
And I know last week we dropped over and talked about what the Corporate Athlete Podcast is, who we are, and what the vision of the podcast is. Today, we're going to get tactical and we're going to drop some real value on you guys. What we really noticed, though, in the business and in life in general is that most people, they lose their day before it even starts. What do I mean by that? Immediately when they get up, they're scrolling on their phone. They're thinking about the things that need to be done today. And, they're getting distracted. So I think the biggest thing is understanding that if you don't win your mornings, you're not going to win your day. So today, we're going to be dropping some real value. Wanted to start off this question with Luke. He's going to get us rolling here. And really what the main question is that's going to really set the tone is simply this. Luke, when we talk about winning the first battle of the day, what does that actually mean to you? And why is the morning so critical for that window of a leader, for a leader?
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, number one, the morning in general, you hear it all the time, like, I'm not a morning person, I'm a night person, I'm this person. I don't think any of that's true. I think truly you have to train yourself, train your mind, train your habits to make that morning the most important thing in your life. And so for me, the only reason I know what doesn't work in the morning is from years and years and years and years of never setting myself up for the day correctly by getting my morning started the right way. And so the morning is everything. And I think honestly, like there really is a critical window every single morning that you have a decision to make. Am I going to go towards the life that I want, or am I going to go back towards comfort, right? And so for me, the morning is one immediately when the alarm goes off. Whatever time that is. For those of you that follow us on social media, Instagram and whatnot, you see we're in the gym very, very early in the morning. That's the time that we've decided, our standard that we've picked. Whatever time that is, whenever your alarm is set to go off, that is your first opportunity to get a win for the day. The first opportunity to get a win. And for me, that window is where the battle begins. I set a time, I set a standard, you set a time, you set a standard for when I'm gonna wake up, when I'm gonna attack my day, and I have an opportunity first thing in the day to get a win, the first thing. And so for me, I've lived years of my life hitting the snooze, having no structure in my morning, literally just letting the day come to me and then reacting. If I don't set up my day, me personally, Kobe could probably attest to it too, I'm gonna be reactive my entire day because I haven't cleared out my head. Guys, I'm in my 30s. I still wake up with anxiety, fear, shame, guilt, anxiety, all the emotions. It seems like when that alarm goes off, it's like those things just flood right into my mind, right onto my heart. And immediately my brain's telling me to go fight or flight. And I can't. I have to stop myself. I have to stop myself and say, man, look, this is the beginning of my day. I know what choices I have to make over these next 15 to 30 minutes that are gonna set the framework for the rest of my day. And so a winning morning for me, it starts when you, not me, when you say you're gonna wake up and start your day. And that's your first opportunity to get a win, right to start your day. But on the flip side of that coin, you say you're gonna wake up, you say you're gonna do this, and then all of a sudden you started your day with a snooze, and then another snooze. And then you decide you're gonna skip the gym because you don't have enough time. Then you're not gonna put the right food in your body. And then all of a sudden you've started your day with back-to-back losses. What is that gonna do to your mind? What is that going to do to your brain?
That's right.
You're going to be at least me, and I could be wrong, but I think majority of people, you're going to be reactive. And I can't be reactive. So I think, Kobe, to answer the question, I guess, is winning the first battle of the day is, man, when am I going to wake up? Like, when am I going to wake up? And again, it doesn't have to be 3 a.m. like us. It doesn't have to be 5 a.m. Pick your time. Pick your time and set yourself up. Man, I can stack 2-3 wins in the first 10 minutes of my day. And then how do you feel the rest of the day? You didn't hit the snooze. You're rolling into your day. You got momentum, and momentum is everything. So that's, for me, dude, I think there's many other ways we can go with this, and we'll dive into it a little bit deeper. But when are you gonna wake up? Set that time and just stick to it consistently.
Well, it starts about creating the momentum. It doesn't have to be waking up at 2:40 like us, but it does come from you setting the standard and being a man and woman of your word. When you say you're gonna wake up at that time, you need to wake up at that time. Because it either creates that momentum or breaks that momentum for the day. And winning is the compound effect of the little things. So if you're gonna say you're gonna wake up at that time, amazing, do it. That stacks up those wins for the day, which creates momentum where you're not being reactive, like you said. because your day starts to own you when you're not following through with the things that you're saying. And I think it's simple, right? A lot of people that we've noticed, and I can attest to this, I was one of these guys where you wake up at a certain time, you stack that little win, but what do we do after that little win? We scroll social media. We get consumed by the worldly things instead of having these, 3 to 5 things. And it doesn't have to be a 10 to 15 non-negotiable list, but a couple of things, 3 to 5 things. Wake up at a certain time. Are you doing your morning prayer, whatever it is? Are you praying with your kids? I know when we get up, our families are still sleeping.
Yep.
Right? So the biggest thing is that you need to set this momentum, and the momentum is by making a choice. And you're always one decision away from changing your life forever.
Yep.
But it's the compound effect of the little wins. And
Yep.
the little wins are actually the big wins. So why most people are just rolling through their day and they feel like they're behind is because they don't have a morning routine. They don't have non-negotiables
Yep.
set for themselves. And it doesn't have to be super dialed in. Just pick a couple of things that you know are going to put you into that state so that you can conquer the day, so that you're not reactive throughout the day. And I think if you can do that for a certain period of time, it becomes a habit.
Yep.
It becomes who you are, becomes a part of your identity. And that'll allow you to take on more stress. A lot of business owners and high-level entrepreneurs that are in sales gives you the opportunity to make one more call, to deal with that one client that was your best client that ends up leaving, whatever it is that happens with things that we can't actually control, right? Because some things are facts. We can't control the facts, but we can actually control some of the things that are in our ballpark, are in our favor, right? Your attitude, your energy, your effort. Yep. Those things you can't control. So I think, and I know that winning the first battle of your day, number one, it's when you set that alarm, you wake up at that alarm.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that could be the make or break for a lot of people.
It's subconscious, man. And what I see a lot of people do too, and I'm included in this camp. I've had seasons of my life like this where it's like we make this like morning routine, this like it becomes unrealistic. Like I'm gonna meditate for an hour, I'm gonna go in the cold plunge for an hour, I'm gonna go work out for an hour, I'm gonna study for an hour. Make it so you can accomplish it every single day. That's the non-negotiable is something that you don't negotiate with it. Like I'm gonna do this no matter what. And so, like you said, dude, like simple. Make it so simple, man. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes reading my word. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes listening to something inspirational. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes praying with my wife and kids. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes, putting good food in my body, getting myself ready for the day. We make it so complex, and then we make these huge lists that we can't realistically get done every single day, and then we just throw the whole list out. And then I'll start, I'll start on Monday, or I'll start, next year on the New Year's resolution, whatever it looks like. And so, yes, simple. Make it so simple, man. Put it on a note card right next to your bed. Hey, here's the first 4 things I'm gonna do today. Like, it seems so simple. Like like, man, I should be able to remember this stuff. But when I wake up in the morning, I don't know about you, my mind's not clear. Mm-hmm. All these kind of crazy thoughts are coming into my head. And so, as simple as you can make it, a note card, a little thing on your phone that dings. Okay, go pray for 10 minutes. Go read for 10 minutes. Go do this. Make it simple so that you can accomplish it every single day. Because having a beautiful big list of non-negotiables that you don't accomplish any day, it's just going to eat at your self-confidence.
Yep.
Because every day you're going to be like, well, you know what? I didn't read for an hour. I didn't spend an hour in the cold plunge. I didn't meditate for an hour. I didn't have time to pray with my kids. I'll just start tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes next week, and then next week becomes next month. So simplicity, guys. It's winning is very simple. But the hard thing is that we make it so complicated. We get so focused on these big goals and aspirations that we have, like you said, that we neglect these little things, man. And the little things, they stack.
Well, the greats are obsessed with the long-term game, right? You'd rather be consistently good than occasionally great.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest thing, is that most winners and the greats and the ones that are winning at a very high level, they understand that for a leader, that window of opportunity is simply doing the little things every single day, the monotonous tasks.
Yeah.
Business owners that are winning at a high level, it's the monotonous tasks.
Yeah, every single
high-level
day.
athletes that are performing every single season and every single game, it's the monotonous tasks, it's the shots, it's the reps, repetition, some other skill. And it's crazy because it can have an adverse action where you guys are spending all this time coming up with these non-negotiables, 10 to 15 things. Keep it simple, 3 to 5 things. Stack up those daily wins, and it starts to eat you alive when you take all that time to come up with those wins or come up with that daily task, and then we don't wake up at that time. We don't do that certain thing that we told ourselves we're going to do. And then you look yourself in the mirror, then there's doubt, there's fear, there's indecision, there's procrastination, there's all these different things. So
Yeah,
it's
100%.
important.
And you can always add more. Like that's why it's so important just to start with small things. You can always add more.
But condition your mind and your body to be able to take on more.
That's good.
I think is the biggest thing.
100%.
You know, so we're really getting tactical here, and let's get more tactical, Luke. So, next question is super simple. What is, for those that are probably curious, what does our morning routine look like? Let's just break down, the first 15 minutes of our morning, that step by step. Like, why do we prioritize those things? Why do we take on that action? And just why are we doing those things before anything else?
Yeah.
I guess break down your first 15 minutes of your day.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, 99% of the time, well, hopefully more, 100% of the time, I don't hit the snooze. I have built-in accountability though. My buddy Kobi, Greg, whoever else is working out with us, we have accountability built in.
It's everything.
Every single day. And so if my alarm goes off and I hit the snooze, I can damn well sure know that I'm gonna get a text from Kobi, hey, I'm on my way, hey, what's up, wake up, or I got 4 missed calls. So number one, that's built in so that I don't hit the snooze button. But the first 15 minutes of my day, when my alarm goes off in the morning, I talked about the note card. I have a note card right next to my bed. And as soon as my alarm goes off, I get up, I just grab my note card. Do I know subconsciously what's on that card? Yes. But like I said, my brain's waking up. The thoughts and the worries of the day are coming into my head. And on my note card, it's very simple. It just says this. I go and grab my headphones. So I go grab my headphones, I put them in my ear. I got a playlist saved on my phone. I got Billy Graham in there. I got Napoleon Hill in there. I've got sermons in there. I want to immediately get truth, get wisdom coming into my brain. Because when I wake up, like I said, fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, whatever, the past, the day before, it floods onto me. The worries of today flood onto me. So I need to immediately put into my brain truth. And the truth is, I'm not afraid. The truth is, I'm not anxious. I might feel those things, but that's not the truth. I'm going to operate out of what we call the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. I have to put that into my brain. So I wake up, immediately I put my headphones in, I'm getting the truth put into my head, and then, very tactically, I have a water bottle right next to my bed. It's filled with electrolytes, amino acids, creatine. I'm drinking my water, I'm taking my supplements, I have the truth coming into my head. I have what I love Jesus Calling is a great devotional. There's thousands of different devotionals, but I grab a Jesus Calling, or I grab Psalms, I grab Proverbs, and I just read for a little bit. I have a few minutes before I got to head off and take time for the gym, but what am I doing? I'm putting my mind in the right spot. I'm putting my brain in the right place. And so for me, it's waking up, not hitting snooze, drinking some water, drinking some supplements to get into my body, and it's getting the truth into my head, reading some devotional time. And then by then it's, we're heading to the gym, and we're going to the gym from there. So afterwards, when I get back from the gym, I still study, do all that kind of stuff. But that first 15 minutes, I have it on a note card. I know in my brain what I'm supposed to do every single morning, but my brain is a fickle thing. It's going to tell me to go back to sleep. It's going to tell me that I'm tired. It's going to tell me that I don't need to do that today. I have to have truth. I have to have a system in place. And so, am I perfect 100% of the time? No. There's days I miss. There's days I come back from the gym and I'm freaking tired and I go lay down for 30 minutes. I'm not going to lie to you guys and be like, every single day I'm at the gym perfectly. I'm not. I'm a human being. I mess up. But if I look back over the last 4 or 5 years of my life, I hit it more times than I didn't. And that's the most important thing, progress over perfection. So again, do we want to strive for perfection in our morning routines? Absolutely. But make it simple. Put it somewhere where you can remind yourself all the time. Like, we have the tools, guys. We have the tools and the resources to set our day up, but we're human. We're flawed, and we let emotions and thoughts and yesterday, bleed into our day. And so as quickly when I wake up, I can start getting truth, wisdom, knowledge into my ears, into my brain. It just sets the whole day up in an amazing way. And I'm already learning. I'm already getting new information into my head. I'm already hearing truth, real truth, not what I feel, the real truth about life, the real truth about God. So yeah, man, that's my morning, dude. But
progress over perfection is everything. I like to say the same thing: execution over perfection. When you tell yourself you're gonna do these things, you need to do it. And whether it's the first 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 hour, the biggest thing is not conforming to the patterns of the world, like it says in the Bible, right? Be renewed by by like God and the Word.
Yep.
So one thing that I noticed that really helped me is like my morning routine is I originally had to, okay, because I was not a morning person, okay. I really originally had to put my phone and put the alarm on loud, and I put it in my kitchen. So I physically had to get up out of my bed and turn that thing off. But I think not only is having a morning routine important, but it's what you do the night before, right? Winners are always preparing the night before. So I have my meals prepped, I have my clothes out, I have my gym bag ready, I have all these things ready so that when I get up, I'm just right to the work. I'm right to into that flow state. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get into that flow state.
Yeah,
So
it's eliminating that decision fatigue.
that's right.
Those decisions that you have to make in the morning, just get those out of the way the night before. That's so good, Kobe. I forgot to mention
Preparation, right? So the night before is really what, I mean, all the winners do. What do the greats do? They're always like watching film. All the athletes, they watch film. They think how they can get these things better. So for me, I knew that I was one of those guys that would snooze the alarm, right? We call it the mattress monster. The mattress monster would always get me. And I think the biggest thing is putting that phone in the kitchen table. Now I don't do that because now it's just 2 alarms and I'm up.
Yeah.
But I would have that alarm on loud, put it in the kitchen, put it next to my bottle of water. When the alarm goes off, boom, I'm drinking my water, my bag's ready, my clothes are already there. I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. And I'm just, it becomes a habit, right?
And it reduces friction too.
100%.
Yeah, friction, man.
Let's keep it simple. Like I don't need a 10 to 15, non-negotiable list. I have 5 things. Number 1, I wake up, boom, I read the Word real quick. I say a quick prayer before I even roll out of my bed. God, thank you for today. Thank you for giving me another day of blessing me with another day of life, blessings and opportunities. Prepare me for what the world has in store for me today, and allow me just to be a beacon and be a light for the people that we're going to talk to today. I get out of bed. I literally go drink that water. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get my, put my clothes on, and then before I leave, I make sure I say a little prayer. I sleep on one side of the bed. My fiance sleeps on the other. My daughter, she does still sleep with us, so she's moving around. She still sleeps with us. She's about to be 5. But I go on their side of the bed. I say a quick prayer. They're sleeping. They don't know that this is happening. But I put a little blessing over them, right? I ask the Lord to bless them while I'm going ahead and going to war and go to the gym. And literally, that whole time, I turn on a podcast on the way out, and literally on the way to the gym, I'm not listening to music. I listen to Billy Graham, things that are going to put you in that truth, things that are going to put you in that momentum, in that flow state. And even in the gym, same thing, right? I don't play any music. I listen to podcasts. I listen to things that I know are going to give me value, things that are real life situations and tactical lessons that I know I can apply when I go to the office. So
we play a little music after the gym though.
100%.
On the ride home.
100%. On the ride home, we're bumping the music. But on the way there, we're listening to stuff that we know are going to feed our mind and put ourselves into flow state. So whether it's the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do not start opening up your phone and scrolling, right? Do not think about it's the news. Do not worry about what other people got going on.
Emails, all that stuff.
Yeah, answering emails, working, some of the deals that you guys are working in business. If you don't spend that time for yourself and have that non-negotiable 10, 15 minutes of time for you to fill up your cup, and sometimes that cup is filled through God, through the Word, whatever that is for you guys to put yourself in the flow state, you guys need to do those things because it's going to prepare you guys and give you the right opportunity and just the right mindset to go attack for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
The deals, if they're deals, man, the deals can wait, okay? But you having that window of opportunity to really focus on yourself, fill up your cup, that's a non-negotiable. And I think that's the biggest differentiator from those that are consistently creating dependable success in their business, their personal life, with their family, and then those that are just on that roller coaster ride of highs and lows. So that's just a couple of things that you guys can utilize, right? Doesn't have to be a lot, but execution over perfection, progress over just perfection as well. That's so important. So we talk about building the habit, right, Luke? And I think for someone, actually, let's go to this one because I think sometimes, the battle against comfort, right, which we've all experienced
every day.
And it's important that we be real and authentic because every day we're faced with the decisions. There are mornings where we don't feel like it. I'll be honest. That's most days.
That's most days.
But I think winners live exhausted.
Yep.
The greats, they live exhausted. And I think for our listeners, Luke, when it comes to the mornings and beating that comfort and the battle against comfort, I guess how do you force yourself to execute anyway, right? And can you share a story for you and personally what you went through where winning your morning directly led to a major win or a massive day?
Yeah.
Right? And can you share that with our people?
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, I mean, number one, I never feel like getting up at 3 a.m. I've never had my alarm go off and be like, man, I cannot wait. Let's get going. It's always a battle against comfort. My wife's next to me in the bed. It'd be nice to kind of just flip over and just, snuggle up next to wifey for a couple more hours. But we have to realize, man, what kind of life are we building? And so there's probably multiple stories in my life of like where winning the morning, directly led to a major win. I can think of it many times, man, where I woke up, I was tired, I was exhausted from the day before, I didn't hit my snooze button, I wanted to hit my snooze button, I didn't want to get up and read, I got up and read, I didn't want to go smash legs at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, I didn't want to do it, but every opportunity that I had to quit in that morning, whether it was to hit the snooze, whether it was to not read, whether it was to skip that leg day, whatever it was that I skipped, later on in that day, when I'm on a difficult conversation with the client, when I'm trying to solve a big problem, when I'm having a difficult conversation with a teammate, when I have a difficult conversation with a leader on my team, when I have to go, have a difficult conversation with my wife, whatever it is, when I'm going into that situation and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I can go make this phone call. I don't know if I can go do this. I don't feel like doing this. I can go back into my head and be like, you know what, man? No, look, this morning you wanted to hit your snooze button and you didn't, and you got through it. This morning you didn't want to get up and read and you got up and did it. This morning you didn't want to go hit legs and you got up and did it. And then I look back and I'm like, dude, I've already built this momentum today. Has it been easy? No. Have I had to act outside of how I feel? 110%. But I know that earlier in that day, I hit that. And if I cut the corner here, in this difficult conversation, in this phone call I gotta make, in this what presentation I gotta make, whatever the difficult thing is that you're facing, I can go back and call on that and be like, okay, I know today's hard. I know I'm tired. I know it's 4 o'clock. I know I'm ready to go home, whatever it is. But I know that I've already hit this. And so, man, let's just keep going. Let's go have one more difficult conversation. Let's go pick up the phone one more time. Let's go send one more message to a customer. And so I personally can't think of like a specific instance on the top of my head, but I just know that when I win my morning, it's momentum. And momentum is the most difficult thing to get ever. And it's the easiest thing to lose. Look in sports, man. Like you see in any sport, for example, basketball, whatever. A team could have a 20, 30-point lead at halftime. All the momentum in the world. They take a break. The other team resets. They hit the reset button. They can turn that momentum on a dime just like that, and it can go swinging back the other way. The same thing in your life, man. You can start the day, and again, I'm not saying you should plan for this, but you can still start your day and not have a perfect morning. You can still bounce back. You can still make a comeback throughout the rest of your day. And so don't take what we're saying of like, hey man, if I don't hit that first 15 minutes, then I'm just gonna surrender the rest of the day. No, man, keep fighting, keep going, and keep going for that next battle, every single thing. But calling to your instance of what you're talking about, there's hundreds, thousands of times throughout my life where I knew that keep going and hitting those things I said I was gonna do just propelled me, gave me more momentum. Look at the other side of the coin. I wake up in the morning, I hit the snooze button, I don't go work out, I don't spend time with my family, I don't get in the Word. Every difficult thing I'm gonna come up against the rest of the day, I'm gonna quit way easier.
Yep.
Way easier. Because I've already quit halfway through the day. Does that mean that if you started slow, you can't finish great? No, you still can do that. But that morning, man, that instance of the day where you can recall those wins, go back to your man every morning, like, I'm hitting this. It subconsciously, it does something to you. And people have asked me, dude, like, how have you gotten to this point in your life, in sales and business, in your career? Dude, there was never any like light bulb heaven parting moment. It was just day after day after day after day. Execution over perfection, progress over perfection every single day. And so, man, like, the morning, man, it's everything. It truly is everything for your day. Can you still bounce back if you had a bad morning? Yes, absolutely. But do your part. Do everything you can in your power to do it.
I think it comes down to the ability to self-correct.
Yep.
The ability to self-correct quick, and that's why the morning routines are important, because when you stack up these wins, what are they? They're receipts. They give you, and you give yourself mental fortitude. You give yourself that ability to gain momentum. And if you do get off track, because there are times where nothing goes perfectly, but when you do go off track, it's that ability to snap yourself back in and self-correct. You know, Andy says this all the time. the one that can self-correct the fastest is forever going to be wealthy, not just from a financial standpoint, but in your life. And that's why it's so important where, yeah, there are days where you don't want to get up. Everyone has those days. That's why the difference between the winners and losers are just the compound effect every single day. And I think it's important because a lot of people think that you got to have a perfect routine. You got to hit it every single day. Dude, we don't at the end of the day. 99.999% of the time we do. But when we don't hit it, we have the accountability, right? We have the team. We have the people that are going to call you up, never call you out, which is the difference. And then the ability to self-correct the fastest, because flip side, you don't wake up, you don't prepare the night before. When you hit the office, you're taking 30 minutes to get yourself in the right mental mind state when you could have used those hours in the early morning to do all the hard stuff, to put yourself in the flow state. That way, when you come into the office, you're not going downstairs to grab your breakfast, to grab a coffee. It's game time.
Yep.
You know, and you don't need that 15 to 30 minutes, even an hour sometimes, just to make that first phone call, to start getting yourself into that progressive state.
Yeah.
So the ability to self-correct is important. And I think everything, there's not one story that we have been through. I think every single day is a story that we're writing.
Yep.
You know, every single day.
Yeah.
Especially here at the Elliott Group, we are held to a very high standard here. The core values we live by. Obviously the standards of becoming a leader and being an example for the world and the marketplace. Because everything that we teach here in our company, it's like we have to live by those standards and we have to apply it ourselves, because a lot of frauds out there, a lot of them. And the ability for the Elliott Group just to do the things that we say we're going to do, I think is the biggest thing. So instead of sharing one specific story of winning your money directly, I think it's every single day.
Yeah.
And you know, you stack up those receipts, you get the momentum, and sooner than later it's going to be harder to beat. And then that just gives you the power and the ability, right, to
100%.
self-correct
Yeah.
fast.
And I don't care if you're
Fast.
a stay-at-home mom, you're an 18-year-old high school graduate,
None of that matters.
you're a leader in a company, you're a sales guy at an automotive dealership, you sell insurance, whatever you do you need to be on fire to be the best version of yourself in whatever it is you do? Yes or no? Yes. You have to be on fire. Guys, I don't care if you're leading people, you're leading your kids, you're leading a sales team. People are moved by people that have conviction, that have emotion, that can shift people with their words, with how they carry themselves. I wasn't always this guy. Kobe wasn't always this guy. I legitimately, I used to look in the mirror and I was embarrassed of myself. Embarrassed. Like I didn't like me. And so all of this stuff about the morning, I don't care what your role is in life. I truly do not care. Whatever role you have, can we not all agree that for you to be the best version of yourself in that role, you need to have a clear mind. You need to be on fire. You need to be able to relate with people. You need to be able to push through when things get hard. Yes.
You build the habits.
It's habits, man. And so it's everything. And that goes perfectly into the last question and stuff we're talking about. So I don't know if you want me to go on that one first, or you can kind of role play that one too. But
well, it talks about building the habits, because habits are everything. For people that want to make it a permanent standard, right? And standards are what you live by, inside and out, right? Not just from a business aspect, but in your personal life. When it comes to creating a permanent standard, and for those of you that may be in a rut, maybe in a hole, maybe inconsistent, and you want to create a permanent standard, I think, Luke, what would be the process of someone that, you know, wants to start creating that permanent standard? You know, what's one piece of advice, or maybe a couple of pieces of advice that they could apply in their lives immediately, right, today, if they really want to make the change? Because, I mean, you're always going to do the things that are important to you, and if you want to change and create a permanent standard, you make the decision. What's a couple of pieces of advice that you could give someone that's like, hey, man, I want to start this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to live by these standards. I want to change my life. I want to put myself into momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, what's a couple of pieces of advice you could give them?
Man, I think the two things that come to the top of my head when you're talking about setting up a permanent standard in your life, or a process, number one, like, honestly, is just determining who do you want to become? Like, truly, like, who do you want to become in mindset, in skill set, and in habit? And when you determine who you want to become, then I would honestly just, like, I think a lot of people struggle with this too, is I would audit my time. Like truly, like, again, if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're a single mom, if you're in sales, leadership, we all have the same 24 hours a day. We all have the same amount of time each week. Audit your time, because I know, me personally, I try to do this once a month, once a quarter. I'm actually shocked at how much time I actually waste and how much time I actually do have. And so a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to do this. You have time. We all have time. You need to just audit it and figure out where do I have these gaps in my schedule. I understand not everybody can get up. They might have kids. They might have obligations where they can't, go spend 2-3 hours in the morning working on themselves. I understand that. Audit your time. Maybe you're the kind of person where your schedule is where you have to do this kind of stuff at night. I know we can all find time to go to the gym in the morning, but maybe you're studying, there are other things. It's later on at night. So number one, if you want to make a permanent standard in a process, just audit your time. Audit your time, and then look at who you want to become in the future, and then you just almost just reverse engineer it. And then the last piece is start small. Start small, man. Like, you guys have done it before. I've done it. From 18 to 30, I lived the same New Year's resolution over and over again. It was just like, I'm going to change this year, right? Like, get rid of the New Year's resolution stuff.
Most people.
Yeah, it's most people. Just make a decision that I want to go towards this next version of myself. Whatever that looks like for you, in your family, in your relationship with God, in your health, in your sales and business, whatever it is. But audit your time. Determine who you want to become, like, truly, not like, I want to make more money. That's not it. Like, who do you, when you look in the mirror and you see yourself at the end of 2026, New Year's Eve, like, who do you want to see? And not just like physically, like internally, who are you? And so start small, man. Like, create little wins, and then you just, like I said, you can add on top of it. So if you're the person that's like, man, I'm not a morning person, I can't get up and do this, I focus better at night. Yeah, me too. My brain's a lot more active at night, 100%.
Yeah.
But start somewhere. And where I would start is pick the time that you're going to wake up. I wake up pretty much the exact same time Monday through Saturday. Sunday is my day of rest, but I sleep in a little bit there. But I genuinely wake up at the same time Monday through Saturday. Pick your time. Look, for a whole month. Okay. For an entire month, you don't have to change anything. Don't go to the gym. Don't do anything. Even for a couple weeks, just wake up at the same time that you say you're going to wake up every single day, and just watch your mind start to be like, oh man, I'm winning. I'm getting up every single day. I'm doing this. Find little wins. So for someone, it can be as simple as, man, I'm just going to wake up at 6 o'clock every morning this week. I'm going to drink a gallon of water every day this week. I'm going to read 2 pages in my book every day this week.
Stick to your word.
Yeah, it's just pick where you want to start, and then just start. It's that simple, man. And then, yeah, you can add on top of it. I'm not going to be satisfied in my life if I'm only spending 10 minutes a day, studying God's word or just studying a book. It's not going to get me to the level I want to go. And that's where I go back to talking about auditing your time. I had to find that time in there. The reason we get up and go to the gym at 3:30 in the morning is because we got kids. We got a wife. I want to study. I want to get good food in my body. I want to spend some time in God's word. I want to actually have a conversation with my wife, and I want to look my kids in the eye, talk to them, love on them, give them some energy before I'm gone for the day.
That's good.
Guys, how many families do you see where the dad, and I've been that guy, where I just get up and go to work, get up and go to work, get up and go to work, and I make no connection with my family. I make no connection with God. And that's where, going back to the fight or flight thing we're talking about, that's when we just operate out of how we feel. I don't feel like doing 99% of this stuff most days. I don't feel like it. I don't. But I know how I feel when I'm not doing those things. And I'm operating out of fear. I'm operating out of shame. I'm operating out of guilt. I can't transfer certainty into my clients, into my customers, into my family, if internally I know that I'm a fraud. I can't do it, because I know that I'm lying to myself. And I'm out here saying, man, you can change your life. You can do it. You just got to be disciplined. And then I'm not doing those things. I'm a fraud.
A lot of people that do that, though.
Yeah, and that's the world. You look at all these people. We've met them all. We've met the influencers with the watches and the cars. They say all these things. They're not who they say they are. And that's all I want in my life. I want to just be who I say I am. That's it. And when you truly know who you are, and you're certain of that, you're confident in that, you're going to be able to lead and influence people. I swear on my life, I was never a leader most of my life. I was never able to be convicted. I was never able to speak and move people because I wasn't moved. I wasn't convicted. I wasn't certain of myself. And so you guys might be thinking, man, do we really got to do this every morning? What kind of life do you want?
Choose your heart.
Yeah, choose your heart. It was hard being 300 pounds, broke, having no money in my bank account, not being close to my wife, not making the money that I wanted to make, not being close to God. That was hard. pick the hard route that you want to go. And so, man, like,
I think it just
yeah,
comes
go
down
ahead,
to
bro.
one thing. It just comes down to one thing. And I'll keep it simple for you guys. Just make a decision.
Yep.
Make a decision. Stick to your word. Just stick to your word. And if you can do that for even a short amount of time, you stack it up every single day, you're always one decision away from changing your life forever. And it's the truth, guys. So if you want to create a permanent standard, like, make the decision to, and stick to that decision. Because when you do, you stack momentum, you stack receipts, your ability to self-correct is a lot quicker compared to if you told yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it.
100%.
It all comes down to making a decision. You know, so I want to challenge you guys and just really ask yourself, like, what would you change in your life so that you could win the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes of your day every single day? What would you change, and how would you apply that over the next 30 days? Right? Because a lot of people give you this information, but the winners, their ability to implement it and put into action as fast as possible, those are the ones that are gonna win. So, you know, the biggest thing is, like, in regards to that, you know, set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
No snooze. Do not look at social media. Read the word. Do something that you know in your gut that it's been telling you to do for a long time. You've just been putting it off. Because those things are the most important things. They're going to shape your future, shape your mind, shape your ability to endure more. So we just wanted to drop some value for you guys. Obviously, if you guys find value in what we're sharing, you know, share it with someone that you know. Share it with someone that would benefit from these things. You know, subscribe to this. You know, we're going to go ahead and drop a lot of value and just be a real, authentic people. Because I know some of you guys are parents. Some of you guys don't have kids. Some of you guys are in relationships. Some of you guys are single. It does not matter. This is universal for those that just want to get better. You know, so that's the biggest thing. And, you know, we just wanted to drop some value for you guys. So I know that we talked about a bunch of different things, right? The non-negotiables, keep it simple. Putting yourself into momentum, shared some stories. And if you guys are finding value in this, like I said, share it with someone. Next week, we're going to come drop more value for you guys. And again, this is the Corporate Athlete Podcast, right? This is where winners are made. This is where winners are produced. And it all comes down to making that decision. So we challenge you guys today to make that damn decision, okay? So we'll see you guys next week. Let's go.
Later.